Hello, everybody.
Good morning, good day to everyone. It's another Saturday of a wonderful discussion about a very important topic. Lahat
Oh,
tayo
Lahat
ito.
naman important eh.
Oo.
Very important. Palagi naman very
Well,
important.
especially for the month of
Eh,
February.
plus, siyempre,
No?
before lahat, bago ng lahat, hindi ba? Meron ganito. Alam nyo, ang February, siyempre, it's the second month of the year, di ba?
Oo nga.
Nawala na yung blues natin ng January.
Mm-mm.
Yung, kumbaga na yung New Year's hangover natin, tapos na. So we're getting started with life to start the year.
Yeah.
Alam nyo, di ba pinag-usapan din natin yung New Year ng ating mga kaibigan.
Yes. Oo.
Chinese
New
New
Year.
Year. Oo.
So nakikita nyo that whatever the way they see things based on their cultural practice, di ba?
Mm.
Ano kasi sa kanila they follow nature cycles eh.
Oo
So it's
nga.
very important to
Oo.
understand that. That affects us too.
Tapos pati, tingnan mo nga, pati hayop, nire-relate nila sa qualities ng tao.
Yeah. They look at the good qualities of the animals.
Oo.
Saka may virtues at yung mga
Yes.
colors, ang daming ganun eh, no? So they appreciate, yung one thing that you can appreciate is how the culture appreciates nature. And that nature is very much part of the influences that takes place in our lives.
Mm-mm.
So these are things that we are always, sometimes we tend to ignore these things, no? Sa buhay natin. So ngayon,
Oh, speaking of nature.
magre-rekta ngayon kasi February 2, February 3, this is the World Wetlands Month.
For February
Wetlands
2.
Day.
Yeah, World Wetlands Day.
So ano ba yung wetlands?
Oo nga, ano pala ang wetlands?
Mm-mm. Yan ang kinalimutan na ng tao kung ano yung wetlands na yun.
Kasi, syempre, when we grew up in the city, ano ba rin yung
When you think of
wetlands?
land,
Alam niyo
it's dry.
yung wet na land.
Wet,
Oo.
yung basa.
Oh,
Hindi nga baha pa yun.
ito yung
Marshes.
yun, marshes.
Oy,
Ito yung marshes, mangroves.
pwede na rin pala yung Bulacan, laging
Hindi,
submerged.
Metro
yung
Manila
mga-
is a wetland.
Wetland, oo nga.
To begin with,
Oo.
before they
begin with.
built the city there,
Tapos,
it's a wet.
kung dito tayo sa La Union, maikli yung layo ng Costa Ridge, malapit eh.
Oo, oo.
So that means lahat ng between the dagat
in the ridge.
and the bundok,
Oo.
yung kapatagan, wetlands.
And
Mm.
So-
it's wet because
Because when you say wetlands, nature kasi ganito yan. When it rains, di ba, there's what is known as water cycle, di ba?
Oo.
Okay, during the rainy season, the water cycle becomes very active. So moisture in the mountains, in the trees, yeah, there's transpiration taking place. So ngayon, when the rains come during the rainy season, our forests would slow down the movement of water in the earth.
Aha.
All right.
kung may puno.
Kung may puno.
Mm-mm.
This is the first. Kasi ang nag-a-attract ng moisture yung ridges eh.
Oo.
Mga trees.
Okay. Ngayon, pagbagsak niya, hindi ba? Di ba mayroon mga lugar, may mga ilog, may mga brooks,
Oo.
streams,
Oo.
springs,
Rivulets.
rivulets, di ba? May ganon.
Mm.
So ngayon, kung saan pumupunta yan, yung mga water tributaries, what nature did is to make it so that in the flat location,
Mm-mm.
lahat ng water before it hits the ocean,
Mm-mm.
dadaan sa wetlands.
So it slows.
Slows the
Yeah.
movement of
Oo.
water.
So,
Fresh water.
Yung dapat dun sa kung sa Manila, yung mga nabotas, yan yung mga ano, yung
Botas, Makati.
Makati.
Makati. Talagang
Plus
wetlands yan
Piñas
dati.
rin, di ba?
Oo,
ganun.
yung mga coastal ng Cavite,
Coastal, oo.
Marikina, lahat yan. Anything near rivers, nakapatagan, are considered before or
Oo.
wetlands.
Originally.
Yung Candaba, ano, yung
Swamps,
swamp,
same.
yun din. Kasi may
Swamps.
tubig, oo.
Swamps are wetlands too.
Kasama yun.
Ang dami sa Pilipinas kasi
So it slows it down kasi fresh water siya para magamit
Mm.
natin at saka para ma-filter, di ba?
malinis.
Oo.
So,
At saka-
baga, imbakan siya.
Yes.
Baga, it's a natural reservoir pa kung saan
Oh.
may tubig. Kasi usually, throughout the year, may tubig tong mga areas na ito eh.
Tapos,
Kaya wetland.
may infiltration.
The
Oo.
water goes down
Down.
to the water
to
table.
the water table. So
Then
ngayon,
meron tayo,
this is
tubig
nature's way. Kasi
of
based,
conserving fresh water.
based on the amount of water in the planet, most of the water is salty.
Oo.
And
Oo
it's
nga,
not,
oo.
Precious yung fresh
it's not
water.
so usable for many of us.
Oo.
Okay? For
For those of us who
sa kalupaan.
land.
Oo. Hindi, yung alat hanggang dyan lang yan sa coast. You
Mm.
know,
Dapat.
hindi dapat pumapasok sa mga
Mm-mm.
rivers and stuff, you know. So, the wetlands, yan ang imbakan ng fresh water.
Mm.
Kaya, ang vitality ng wetlands, kasama na rin dyan yung mga mangroves. Sa scheme of the environment, the wetlands play a major role as a carbon sink.
Mm.
There's more carbon being absorbed in the wetlands than there is in the forest.
Wow, talaga.
Eh
Kahit
ngayon,
isipin mo, kahit maliliit lang yung halaman sa mga wetlands,
You know why?
actually there are big
kesa
trees
sa
on the
forest, mas
wetlands,
malaki
no?
yung tree.
You know why?
Why?
Kasi sa forest, malalaki yung puno.
Oo.
Okay. Yung process it takes, but how big are the crown of the forest?
Mm.
Malaki ba? Hindi sa forest, manipis. Malalaki yung puno, matatangkad, maliliit yung crown.
Oo.
Okay?
Mm.
So,
So sa may coastal wetlands, malaki naman ang kanilang
Hindi.
crown. Hindi rin.
they are growing in water.
Oo.
Mm-mm. Oo nga.
So that means, hindi ba, saan nagagaling yung mga bushfires, forest fires? Forest, siyempre.
Forest. Oo.
Di ba? Kasi yung
Oo.
combustion nature ng mga puno, yung carbon nila nandun sa mga katawan
Oo.
nila yan
Mm.
Okay? Tsaka sa mga ugat. Pero sa wetlands, nasa tubig.
Yeah, doon nila ni-store.
So, nanyo-neutralize ka agad.
Wow.
Walang basta forest. Walang fire basta.
Mm.
Oo.
Tsaka, meron dyan yung sa mga wetlands, yung mga peat moss.
Ayun, isa pa yung taga.
Napaka-importante ng mga role niyan. Kasi, for example, dito sa ating bansa, nakikita natin nagbago na ang tema ng Mindanao, na binabaha na Mindanao ngayon.
Oo.
Oo, dati hindi.
Meron na silang parang kumbaga normally yung naisip yung baha pag malapit kayo sa coast. Tama?
Oo.
Pero nakikita natin sa Mindanao, maraming area nasa kalagitnaan ng kalupaan.
Oo.
Marshlands dati.
Marshes.
Marshes
Oo.
kasi.
Tapos, kinalbo nila yung mga bundok.
Grabe ang
Di ba recently,
Yun.
Maguindanao, balitang-balita, 3 months ago.
Mm.
Di ba, yung mga ilog nila, umapaw lahat.
Oo.
Tapos, pinuntahan pa ng ating presidente. Tiningnan, sinabi ng presidente, tinanggal niya yung puno
Mm.
Kaya babahain kayo talaga. Ganon.
Dati hindi naman
Landslide.
ganun.
Oo. So,
Grabe ang logging dun eh.
tingnan nyo sa Mindanao, yung baha nila, halos inland.
Mm-mm.
So that means walang influence yung tides.
Mm.
Dagat.
Galing talaga sa taas ng bundok na.
Okay, kasalanan talaga natin to.
Yeah.
Alright, hindi nyo pwedeng ipagkaila na nag-high tide
Oo.
Sa Manila, pwede pa lang excuse
Oo.
Ay, nag-high tide, tsaka may surge. Ay,
Oo.
pwede lang excuse. Pero hindi pa rin excuse yun. Tayo pa rin ang nagkakos ng ating sariling
Mm.
kahirapan.
Binild up natin yung
Oo.
marshland.
Ngayon, anyway,
Oh,
yung sinabi ko yung peat moss kasi importante ito. Kakaunti lang yung maraming malalawak na peat moss sa buong mundo.
naku, at just kung anong meron,
Sa Indonesia,
sinusunog pa.
sa Indonesia meron sila
Mm.
ng peat moss.
Madami.
Alam niyo ba yung peat moss?
Hindi. Ano ba itsura niyang
Malalim
pit
siya
moss na
eh.
yan? Sorry.
Moss
Ako
yan.
ignorance.
Moss.
Moss.
Yung moss, may mga green.
Oo,
Yan,
may-
yan.
Yun, yung
Oo.
ano.
Pero
Makapal.
malalim siya, malalim.
Malalim.
makapal.
Kapal. Ngayon, yung peat moss,
It's in the forest, under the trees.
under the trees, tapos after the major forest. Yung katulad din Indonesian, daming peat moss dyan. Ito yung forest nila, malaki, Sumatran forest. Tapos nandito yung napakalaking peat moss area. Ang peat
Aside
moss,
from what's in the forest.
ang peat moss, Actually, diyan, meron nga silang nasasabi may mga ibang area sa
Carbon
Pitmos.
sequestration din yun,
Oo,
di ba?
number one.
Mm.
Alam mo
Kahit
diyan,
maliliit lang siya.
Oo, may mga lugar diyan.
Na makapal.
May mga lugar diyan.
Makapal.
Pwedeng may liyab.
Alin
Yeah, they
yun?
actually
Oo,
has
may
gas.
Ah, talaga.
Methane,
Oh,
ano?
methane.
Oo.
Kasi 'yon ang mga inaabsorb nila ng mga ito sa carbon nga. Okay? So nakita nyo, ang wetlands, katulad ng mga Pitmos, mga
Crucial yan
wetlands yan.
sa
eh.
atin.
So, importante na tangkilikin natin at subukin natin maintindihan why nature put a peat moss after the forest.
Oo nga, may role pala siya.
Talaga.
Oo.
E ngayon, ginawa natin
Very
yung ating
crucial
mga
role.
mangroves and mga wetlands into fish pond, palayan,
Tambakan, hindi ba?
Tambakan din.
Tinatabang?
Oo.
binabackfill nila.
Oo.
Pinapalitan na
So,
yung kanilang role.
So nakikita nyo,
We're getting
Eh,
in their
kasi
way.
sabihin ng mga tao, walang silbi. Gamitin
Eh, kaya-
natin.
Yun ang
Kumbaga yung sabihin, reclaim it. Kumbaga, dagdagan natin para magamit natin yung area na yan.
Kasi
Ayun
yung-
na nga, because they have no knowledge of the use,
Kasi
the
sa
actual
atin-
use of that wetland.
yung yung value ng flatland, yung
Oo.
taas.
Ah.
Unang-una, madaling
Kasi
madaling
they're
i-develop,
available value.
madaling tinuran. Madaling mong tiran, di ba?
Ah.
So, kumbaga nagiging
Everyone wants to live on the
oo,
property.
tsaka meron kang wetlands, meron kang dagat. 60% ng populasyon natin sa Pilipinas,
Coastal.
bundok, wetland, coastal. So nawala si wetland.
Oo.
Oo nga.
Because of
Oo.
our lack of knowledge, hindi natin alam, sinementohan pala natin yung kailangan natin.
Kunyari, di ba?
Pinabunan.
Oo.
Ano yung nasa Pampanga? Yung malaking swamp doon.
Ganda ba?
Oh, ayan yan. Yan ang mga wetlands.
Oo.
Swamplands naman yan. Ganon din yan. Halos pareho yung role. Pero, namamatay na yung kandaba ngayon.
Oo.
Wala na daw masyado.
Wala na raw mga migratory
Oo.
birds. Wala na raw, sabi ng mga
So, ibig sabihin,
nakakausap ko ron. Ibig sabihin lang nun, ang unang, sabi nila, pag umuulan, meron pa rin ganito, pero yung toxicity ng tubig.
Oo
This is
nga.
really bad news sa totoo.
Yun
Ang
ang
daming
mamatay na.
chemicals na ginagamit sa rice farming din.
Hindi lang yun, pati yung
At saka buildings,
factories and
kakabuild.
everything.
Yung
So,
factories.
And the smoke from yung pagka nagsusunog sa
dami. So ngayon, we have this problem that we're faced with. It's called climate change. The biggest carbon sink in the planet is found in the swamps, in the wetlands.
So,
And now we're losing them because yun nga, it's more functional. It's easier to develop than you are in the mountainous area. So,
but then now, problema ang tubig.
problema ang klima rin.
We don't get water.
Flooding.
Flooding.
Yeah, maraming
Mga
problema.
ganyan.
Kasi yung mga ganyan na wetlands, alalahanin nyo, yung mga water tributaries galing sa bundok, inukit yan ng ating panahon.
Oo. By
Nature.
water
Okay.
and wind.
So kaya talagang pupunta at pupunta ang tubig doon. So
Mhm.
ngayon, kapag binarahan ninyo, nilagyan nyo ng backfill,
Hahanap ng papuntahan.
may pupuntahan yan. Sa ayaw sa gusto nyo,
Sa bakuran nyo.
At saka
In your
magiging,
living room.
magiging less yung ating underground
aquifers.
aquifers.
Walang
Hindi siya-
mag-feed ng
Hindi
tubig.
na mabababa dun sa table, dun ng
Wala na.
ipon ng tubig for drinking. Importante
For
pa naman
everything
yun.
we
Ibig sabihin no, lahat ng tubig, pupunta na lang sa mga ilog, sa
Mm.
mga drains palabas sa dagat. So wala na nagpi-filter.
Oo.
So yung
yan.
pollution,
Goes to the ocean naman.
ginawa ng ating tayo,
Oo.
nakatira tayo rito yung from sewage to solid actives to house,
Also
lahat,
industrial waste,
restos, lahat. Saan pupunta?
dagat.
Dagat.
Unfiltered. Kumbaga,
Yan.
yan ay
Then-
pure pollution na
Then-
didiretso
then
talaga
now,
sa dagat.
Then it will come back to us.
Then
It
we
will
have,
come
then
back.
that's the problem that we have now. We have no way out of this because we caused the problem. So
And
now,
we don't even want to stop.
so
Dami
here,
pa rin tuloy-tuloy.
it's important for us. How do we revive and revitalize these wetlands? growing trees, growing the plants that is meant to be in the wetlands, and to have to take care of them and protect them. Just as we try to protect the forest, we have to protect the wetlands.
But then we also have to have strong
Will.
leaders who
Oo.
say, teka, wag mo nyo nang galawin yung wetland yung natitira, di ba?
Ngayon, narami dito
Protect.
sa mga coastal areas, yung mga meron silang mga shallow wells, either pinapasok na ng alat
Yeah.
Correct.
or pinapasok na o yung pollution na galing inland. Kasi yung nag-recharge ng water sa ilalim,
Yung wetlands.
yung wetlands, at
Mm.
least every year or a sustained time, there's always a source of fresh water, clean water coming. Kasi the wetlands are filters. Eh.
Oo.
Yes.
So when it filters the water from the surface, it goes down. The
build
water
up
is filtered.
wells.
Oo.
Then that gives us water that we need. The shallow wells.
Oo.
Shallow wells, okay lang yan eh, kasi kakailanganin natin yan. Pero at the rate we're going, many of our coastal communities will suffer dearly because of the issue of not preserving the wetlands.
Mm.
Naku,
Tsaka
marami
marami
tayo
rin.
mahihirapan. Tsaka sabihin mo, dahil sa climate change na nagko-contribute pala yung destruction of wetlands, edi yung extreme weather
Wala.
patterns, hindi ba lahat yun?
Well,
Like sa California, grabe naman ang flooding. Sa New Zealand,
Oh,
grabe din
even
ang flooding,
New Zealand.
hindi
you
ba?
know, siguro,
Oh,
sabihin
ganun.
natin
New
sa mga
Zealand,
kaibigan
dry
natin,
season, ikaw na.
ganito yan. Ngayon, meron na tinatawag na atmospheric rivers. Sa ating atmosphere, hindi lang yung moisture na
Hindi lang paulan-ulan.
paulan-ulan.
Parang
Oo.
ilog na siya na. Malaki.
Parang ilog na yung density ng tubig na nasa atmosphere natin.
Naku, di pag bumuhos yung river na yun, talagang
Oh, buhos talaga.
Isipin nyo lang ito.
ng tubig
Yung sana
yan.
1 month siya na nahulog, nangyayari within an hour or something.
Or
Yung
to
kada
4
hour
hours
lakas
or
lang.
24 hours. Isipin nyo lang to.
Si
Ondoy.
Ondoy,
Ayun.
ganun.
6 hours. Ondoy.
Oo.
Tapos sinabayan pa
So
ng
much
king tide.
search.
Oo. Si King. Sino si King?
Si
Yan.
king tide.
Yun yung super laki na
super
tide.
laki ng tides.
Hindi na yung normal size ng tide.
Kasi yung tides,
Kasi yung
Super laki
tide
na.
sa Manila Bay, hindi na ganun kababa dahil kagaya noon, yung normal. Hindi
kaya nga binabaha lahat eh.
Tumatras na ngayon si high tide.
Oo, pag sinabi,
Not each time, but there will be times na sobrang laki.
Mm-hmm.
kasi it's influenced by the cycle of the moon.
Talaga.
Moon cycles yan. This is the natural cycles.
Eh,
Now,
pag,
when there is,
pag sumabay yung malakas na ulan at saka si king tide,
Ayan.
ayun, bahang-baha yun.
Disaster. Oo.
tapos sinabayan nyo pa ng hangin,
Hangin.
may storm surge.
Ayun.
Ang tawag doon, Yolanda.
Ayun.
Ang tawag doon,
Oh my God.
Odette.
Disgrasya.
Ayun.
Yung Odette last year. Ito, nangyari ulit this year sa Visayas at saka sa Mindanao. Nangyari ulit. Ang tawag lang naman nila na panibago yung scientists, sinasanay na yung mga tao. Shear line naman.
Oo
Mm,
nga.
diba?
Lagi nasa news yan. Shear line.
This
Ano
is
naman
our
si shear line?
detector.
Shear line naman, kunyari
Ako sa amihan lang yun.
sa amihan, malamig.
Oo.
Pero yung
Baba.
sa baba, mainit. Kung
Limit.
saan nagsasalubong yung init at lamig?
Doon
Sa ocean.
Yun,
Yun ang line.
yun si shear line.
Tapos, tumatahak yan. Yung, ano yung naging condition nun? Lamig at saka init eh.
Oo.
Oo.
Equals high moisture.
Oo.
Malaki yung tendency mag-ulan-ulan.
Floods na naman. Pero walang bagyo.
Walang signal.
Walang signal. Pero yung density ng ulan, kasi lakas ng
Parang
volume na
bagyo.
binabagyo ka. Binabayo ka ng walang hangin, pero binabayo ka ng ulan.
Eh kaya nga nababasa mo, monsoon, sabihin lang northeast monsoon, tapos meron shear line. So, ibig sabihin, may ulan din pala itong shear line.
Yung northeast
ito.
monsoon, may ulan yan.
Oo.
Pero nagsasalubong yan dito sa init.
Oo.
Mainit yung karagatan.
Oo.
So, syempre, nag-generate ng more
Moisture.
moisture, atmospheric moisture. So, to the
Kasi
point,
pag
yung
mainit, nag-evaporate.
dapat sana na kalmadong northeasterly rains
Oo.
na mimix sa warming ocean,
Hmm.
nagkakaroon ng imbis na mild, kasi mas mild dapat ang northeasterly eh.
Oo nga.
Ang
Dati,
southwest
yung-
monsoon ang
Oo,
maulan
ganun.
eh.
Oo nga,
Pero
dati.
iba na kasi yung panahon, kaya anong nangyayari, yun. Hindi na siya mild.
Mm.
Kung hindi, high density rainfall,
Kabulabog na siya.
yung kumagana sa isang minuto o sa isang oras, ilang millimeter of rain ang bumagsak.
Oo.
O sa span ng 24 hours, naka 200 millimeter of rain.
Hmm.
So yung ulan natin na dapat sa 1 month spread,
Oo. Binuhos lahat.
binubuhos sa isang gabi o 2 gabi.
Ay, hindi kaya ng mga drainage natin.
Hindi talaga
Tsaka
kaya.
mga
Kaya yun ang nangyari sa New
flood,
Zealand.
control
Yun ang
yan.
nangyari sa
Ngayon lang
California.
nangyari yun.
Yun ang nangyari.
Airport.
Yun ang nangyari sa atin taon-taon.
Oo.
Every year, ganyan na yan.
Naku.
Every year na yan. Wag na
Kaya
kayong...
magbago na tayo ng
Kaya ang
gawa
mga
na ng
tao,
paraan.
ibig sabihin lang noon, how is our food production affected?
Oo
Maraming
nga,
things
paano
affected.
naman?
O siyempre, kunyari, dito sa atin sa La
Kung
Union,
nasisira ang mga crops.
sa atin sa La Union, masyado naman tuyo. Region 1 is too dry hanggang
Extreme,
Bataan. Tapos, pagdating sa kabila, east side,
Sobra naman
sobrang
ulan.
ulan. So ngayon,
The farmers
Yun
have
nga,
to
yung
sa
adjust.
farmers ka dito sa kabila,
Oo.
masyadong mainit, hindi ka makatanim, walang tubig.
Oo.
Sa farmers naman dito sa kabila, lahat ng tinanim mo natutunaw.
Oo.
God. Parang,
That's why we cannot not know what to do and know what's happening. We have to find out
sana
and
yung,
adjust.
sana yung magandang situation. Dati, nakakapagtanim silang pareho.
Yes.
Di ba? Ngayon, neither one. Ito hindi pwede, ito hindi rin pwede.
O isipin nyo na sa gitna.
Ay, sa gitna.
O siyempre,
Eh, syempre,
either or.
doble problema nila. A little of this, a little of that.
Kaya,
Both problematic.
sige.
Kaya kailangan matauhan na tayo.
Sumasakit na yata yung ulo natin dito. Dahil nakakausap dito.
Maintindihan natin kasi ako lagi ko nababasa si Shearline pati si Pag-asa sa weather forecasting.
Oh, that's
Shearline
your
siya ng
future.
Shearline. Pero ngayon pala may epekto ito dun sa mga planting ng mga farmers.
Parang yung
At
mga,
saka, anong side of the country ka? East ka ba? Or west ka ba? Hindi ba? Magkaiba yung weather.
Parang sinasabi nila yung mga daluyong.
North or south also.
Noong araw, hindi natin
Different.
naririnig yun. Sinabi ng Pag-asa o sinasabi ni Mang
Ano
Tanin.
nga ba yung daluyong? Sa
Surge.
English?
At surge.
Okay.
Okay.
These are things to be considering kasi when we have food issues or food production
Now,
issues because of
problematic issues
unpredictable
sa food.
climate issues, then that means, okay, in 1 year, before you can grow, let's say you can grow rice for 3 times a year.
Oo nga.
If you live in the
Dati,
you live in the
dati.
Bisaya,
Mm.
there's places there where you can grow rice 3 times a year or twice a year.
Dito, hindi.
Ngayon,
Kasi try.
Ibig sabihin nun, when northeasterly season begins, the unpredictability of the volume of water will kill your crops.
Oo nga.
Oo.
Flooding it.
Oo.
Okay? Hindi naman pwedeng
Meron pa nga tayong farmers nag-suicide na. Dahil
kahit
sa
daanan ka lang ng
nila,
tubig
di
na
ba?
24 hours, katatanim mo pa lang yung palay mo, okay ka lang. Pero after 48 hours, 72 hours,
Oo.
siyempre, mamamatay yung halaman.
Oo. It likes
Saka
water
lalo
but
na
not
rin
too
yun sa
much.
mga root crops.
At saka,
And tomato.
you know what it is?
Let, mga leafy.
We're thinking of the plants only, but what is the medium of where the plants grow? It's called soil.
Yeah.
So you
nasisira
kill
din ang
all the
soil.
bioorganisms
Oh,
present in the soil
flood,
because you
extra.
create erosion.
Nalunod na rin yung mga natin, helpful microorganisms. O kung hindi sila nalunod, sila ay natangay.
Yes.
O kasi mamamatay yung mga plants that help
Kailangan may
nourish
balance eh.
the bioorganism.
They all interact with each other. So, kailangan lahat alaga, di ba? May balance.
Pero kung nga magkagulo na yung ating weather, hindi na maintindihan kung ano mangyayari.
Sabi niyo pa lang, baka ako magkagulo. Nagkakagulo na.
Nagkakagulo na.
It's
Kaya
already
kailangan
happening.
tauhan tayo. Malaman natin na, mali pala yung ginagawa natin and do something.
You see, again,
Oh.
pabalik tayo sa wetlands. Yung wetlands play a major role on cleaning up the water that comes from the mountain and the rubbish, yung kung ano man ang basura, bago siya lumabas sa dagat,
Mm-mm.
kino-contain siya ng kalikasan.
Oo, for as long as possible. Slow nga
We
di ba,
need
yung
the
mga
fresh
doon.
water.
Oo nga.
Many
Oo,
living
yes.
entities, we all need fresh
Yes.
water. But if we continue at the rate we're going, there's no problem with rain. Ang daming ulan eh.
Oo
Dito
nga.
lang sa region namin ang may problema sa ulan. Kasi nasa northwest, nandyan magkakaroon ng problema talaga. Dahil ganun nga yung dynamics ng mga jet streams eh. Iba-iba yan eh. So yung klima nagbabago-bago. So we end up with when to plant and what to plant.
Yeah, and where to get
Hindi na
what will we do with all the
maintindihan kung kailan
water?
magtatanim,
Oo,
hindi
hindi mo
ba?
na alam.
Mm,
Tanong niya sa magsasaka.
Mm.
confused na rin sila eh.
So actually pala, yung mga property owners na meron silang mga wetlands, actually, wag silang mabalisa na, oh my God, parang unproductive yung kanilang property because
Mm.
meron din naman tong contribution sa
Yes.
sa mundo. Hindi lang dito sa area natin, kundi all over the world, di ba? But in fact, sa ano nga rin some places in the Middle East, talagang pinoprotect nila yung mga mangrove areas,
Very
di ba?
intelligent. Okay.
Talagang meron silang mga, kumbaga, leisure parks
Mm.
na ang talagang leisure parks na is yung mga mangrove areas.
Yan, good. Sana ganyan, no? Instead of sisirain.
Tsaka may mga tao dito nangangahoy pa dun sa mga mangroves, hindi ba?
Well,
Binabawasan
them
yung mga
kasi yun lang
halaman.
ang source nila ng
Firewood.
firewood.
Oo.
So we really have to help each other eh.
And
Mm-mm.
one thing is, again, we go back. What is causing all of this? It's very basic. No? Kasi February is a heart month.
Oh, yan pa.
Okay? So
Mm-mm.
that means we have to do things and learn to do things.
With the heart. Let's be kind.
Kasi
Alab ng puso.
there's actions dictated by emotions. There's action that dictated by reasoning.
Mm-mm.
And where's all of this being generated? Where is it coming from? Diba? Kasi if we see what's causing the problems around us, that we're using all of the resources that's meant to be used by the future generation. We don't live dictated by
Greed.
by a caring
Mm-mm.
heart.
Mm-mm.
We live only for ourselves,
Mm-mm.
Oo, let's not be
for our own convenience.
selfish
Diba?
or greedy.
Tama? Kaya,
Mm.
And even, ano lang, if we're not even living for ourselves because we're destroying those things na, or those
For
resources
others.
na for us,
And for everyone.
pakikinabangan din natin. We need those for our
Right.
own survival
Mm.
as individuals,
Oh,
hindi ba?
yeah.
so it's caused
And for
by,
future generations.
since the turn of a couple of 100 years when the industrial years have been
Nag-umpisa
upon
na.
us, where we use a lot of energy, we started to build our homes in such a way that we all cluster together in a particular cities and
Oo,
towns.
city life
We
na.
we left the countryside, yeah. So we have embraced and accepted that this is a fact. But yet, you will find, if you analyze that, if we made the right choices and decided that and understood that it is the overconsumption of a great population living together
Mhm.
that is actually destroying the very fiber
Contributory to
that
the
nature
destruction.
was meant to sustain all living and non-living forms of the world.
Correct. Oo.
Okay, so pag ganyan nangyayari, so that means we are not using our intelligence, we are not being reasonable, we are not being, kumbaga ano, caring enough. That our actions, that the actions we perform,
Have a result.
okay,
And sometimes result is not okay.
we are all held responsible for our actions.
Oo.
So now, kung nadadama ninyo na noon, naka-invest ako rito sa lugar na ganito, kunyari dito sa amin sa San Juan, may kwento. Pinaka-main tourist strip namin. No, dyan yung surfing, tourism is there,
Restaurants, resort.
20,
Mhm.
mga nag-umpisa yan, mga 2005, 2006, it started to attract na a crowd, a growing population, and then it started to peak in the last
Parang
10 years.
nag-mushroom sila. Dumami agad.
So everybody wanted to make or get their investment back. If you bought land 20 years ago or 15 years ago in these areas, you didn't pay as much as money during those days. So that means your
Uh-huh.
investment is not very high.
Correct.
But, siyempre,
Now, maliit na land lang.
it's very
Mahal.
expensive.
Mm.
Now, if you are to buy land there, it's going to be so expensive. But now, their wells are turning salty. Their wells are drying up.
Mm.
They have to have the water delivered.
Tapos pumapasok yung dagat rin.
Pumapasok na yung
Oo.
dagat. So,
Ano,
what I
dami.
paid and what the premium price of the land, which I think is my investment, will have its, kumbaga, ano,
Downside.
no, it will have its, kumbaga, ano,
Degradation din.
the degradation. Ang kasabihan dyan, minsan yung puhunan mo,
Mm.
yung profits mo is only as good as a certain time. But
Hindi
when the-
long term.
It's not sustainable.
Oo,
Diminishing.
not long term.
Diminishing.
Yeah, your investment will start to
Go
go
down.
down.
Oo. The work.
Like people in another part of this province called Bawang town.
That used to be
That was a
the
tourist strip.
beach strip, di ba?
But now, the land there is cheap.
O, nasira na rin.
Sira.
Kasi,
Pumasok na yung dagat.
oo.
Wow.
100
Nang-
meters of the water from the sea
Beach.
went in. And this was like, when I was, what,
Paano
30
kung
years
3
ago,
years?
pag sinabi niyong go to La Union to enjoy the beach, you go to Bawang.
Oo,
Oo,
ito ba yan?
You don't go to San Juan. San Juan, you can't even swim.
Oo,
because-
Kasi hindi pa popular yung surf.
Surf.
Malaking waves. So
Oo,
people didn't
oo.
want to go there.
So, see,
But now,
in a span of, what, if you talk about 2 generations, or even 3 generations, kung if you want to count, yung mga magulang mo, lolo mo yung nag-invest,
oo,
pagdating sa'yo,
sa Apo, wala
sa apo,
na.
wala na.
Oh, paano na lang yan? Eh di talagang nasisira na lahat ng mga resources and assets ng mga tao. Hindi ba?
Overconsumption.
It's,
That's why
that's why we all have to work together
Together.
to fix things and not
We
let
have-
it go to so much degradation.
we have to care enough.
Mm-mm.
We have to make sure that we understand that everything that we do has a consequence.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I overconsume food or energy,
Mm-mm. Or
I am-
contributing to the
I'm
problem.
contributing to the degradation of the source, plus the preservation of the resources that's there to be used by the future generation.
Oo.
Kaya maitira naman tayo na maayos
Mm.
sa ating
Kasi
grupo.
it takes time also for nature to kumbaga, recharge, to replenish, hindi ba?
And nature doesn't have the time anymore.
Oo.
Yeah.
Yan. The
So,
time
yung
it takes to have
destruction
soil,
so
the
fast.
creation of soil,
Topsoil
mga ganon. Naku. Eh makita natin tuwing umuulan, brown na yung tubig.
takes 20 years, 20 to 25 years to get 1 inch of topsoil back.
Naku.
Oh, see?
Ay,
We
nawala.
have to
And
Lost
Start
and
every
it takes
year.
only a rainy season to lose all of that.
Naku,
nga.
oo.
ang lakas.
So that's why, ito na naman yung doomsayer.
No, this is the
No.
truth. We are not trying to scare you. We're telling you the truth. So we can do something. Each of us can contribute to turning things back, no? Trying to lessen the destruction.
Oo.
Again, at the end of the day,
Mm-mm.
we need to always care enough
Yeah.
for one another.
Every little effort makes a difference.
When you talk about heart, you talk about
Think of others as
Love.
well. Mm-mm.
Mm.
love and care.
Yeah.
Diba? Pag sinabi niyong love, may ganon, heart eh. Di ba? So it means,
But
by
let's
nature.
talk about the physical heart rin, no?
Oh,
Kasi
siyempre,
we need to take care of that
we
as
need to
well.
take care of the heart too. Ito.
That's
Si
one
tumit-
number
bukti-bukti
one killer
yan.
ba natin yan sa
Can you
Philippines?
imagine
Yung heart.
mag-skip ng beat yung heart mo?
At patay.
Oh, that's not funny. Madaming
Oo.
namamatay ganyan
Sa
ngayon.
ganyan,
Bigla.
naghinto.
Mm-mm.
Ang ano natin dito, but if we take care, it's so connected with nature because all
Yes.
the resources we need to nourish
Nourish.
also the heart
Yes.
come from nature, hindi
Yes.
ba? Yung tubig, yung
Mm-mm.
hangin, yung
Mm-mm.
pagkain, kung puro baha na lang at puro mga, pollution, hindi
Mm-mm.
rin man-nurture si heart.
Kaya
Di
kailangan
ba?
alagaan natin
Ang,
both the
ating
the
puso,
nature with ours.
kasi ang ating puso kasi, sige, nahiba na yung kuro-kuro natin. Ang puso ng tao, yan ang kumbaga pinuno ng lahat ng ating organs.
General.
Okay? Siya yung, kumbaga
The king or the
King,
emperor,
emperor.
kumbaga, sa mga ibang bansa,
sa
the
mga ibang
emperor.
organs. Kasi yung katawan natin made of so many types of cells.
And so many
Nala ko sabi ng
organs.
iba brain, hindi pala si brain,
No.
si heart.
Si brain, kailangan niya ng puso para bigyan siya ng dugo eh.
Yes.
Talo si
It's the
brain.
heart that pumps the nutrients to all of the
Oo.
cells in the body.
Kaya nga kapag the heart stops, di ba, the brain will, after 3 minutes, the brain starts to die.
Oo.
May mga ganun.
May ibang tao daw hindi, stomach daw.
Mm.
Hindi yata.
Hindi, mali pala yun.
Medyo,
Yung stomach?
hindi.
Ano ang galing sa stomach?
Kasi they always try to satisfy the stomach. Laging ibigay kung anong gusto
Yan
ni
ang pumapatay
stomach.
sa heart. Sumusobra yung
Oo,
kain
kaya
sa
sa
stomach.
stomach yung isip ninyo. Si heart ngayon, hindi niya kaya yung dami ng
Kaya nga,
loading
marami
ng
na
kain sa
kami
inyo
ganyan.
ngayon. Dahil nga, ayaw pa mag-exercise. So,
Na-torture na si heart.
kasi yung
Yes.
pag sabi mo you want to have a healthy and strong heart,
Mm-mm.
it begins with, first of all,
Good food.
not only that,
Exercise.
when you want to learn about something,
Oo.
okay, kunyari, sa atin,
Yung
kadalasan,
number one.
naisip natin, heart, kailan mo naisip yung puso mo?
Pag masakit.
Pag masakit, ayun.
Pag hindi na nag-work.
Or hindi ako
Hindi ka na
makahinga.
makahinga.
Okay.
Naninikip.
O kaya, may arrhythmia,
Oo.
may dumidiin na sakit, o
Oo.
kaya pag
Oo.
para ka na sinagasaan ng sasakyan sa dibdib mo,
Problema.
heart attack ang
Saka
tawag
lang
doon. Yung ganun,
naiisip.
yung parang nilaglagan ka ng mayroon kang karga na hindi ka
Mabigat.
makahinga.
O kaya
Yun.
sinasabi nila, heartbroken.
O yun.
Isa pa.
Diba? Kaya
So,
masakit
Or you
sa
can
puso.
actually
Masakit
feel
lang.
or hear your heartbeat. Yan, may palpitation.
meditation.
Sobrang pagod.
O kaya,
Huwag
di ba?
natin hintayin na makaramdam ng mga yan. Dapat alagaan
Kaya
din
nga.
natin
So
siya.
a lot of people are very aware of the function of the heart, yung epekto ng heart na sa buhay nila, yan ay kasama nila, hindi ba?
Mm.
Pero paano naman
Actually,
ang
they
question,
don't think about it unless there's a problem.
paano aalagaan naman si heart?
Ayan.
Siyempre, kaya importante,
Marami. Sleep. Very bad for the heart. Pag kulang tayo sa tulog. It's
Okay?
very necessary.
Oo.
Exercise kasi the heart is a muscle, di ba?
Oo.
Parang
The
other
biggest
muscles,
muscle daw.
kailangan may exercise. Hindi
Nakalaki
pwede
yan.
paupo-upo lang
Oo.
tayo.
Marcel,
Oo.
okay?
Tapos, we need good food. Kasi if you eat bad food, nababara-bara yung ating mga
So, ano naman
vessels.
ano man yung mga bad food na dapat iniiwasan at nagagalit si heart pag marami.
Well,
ganyan?
Pinirito,
Pirito, yes, oily stuff.
mainit,
Also, salt affects the
Ano,
sin.
ano mainit?
Hindi mo pag ipiprito ka, mainit masyado.
Oo, okay.
Okay, pag
Oo. Ayun.
okay, yung ganun ang klaseng oil lang.
Kasi high heat, extremely high heat, can change the nature of the oils.
Okay.
So, that's why he was talking about the high
I
heat.
see.
Hindi ba may oil pagka nagluto ka minsan umuusok?
Oo.
It's that point where
Toxic.
the oil becomes
Oo.
not good.
Oo.
There are certain oils na okay siyang
Oo.
for deep frying.
Ang Pinoy pa naman, mahilig. Ay, naku, mamantika. Hindi ba? Dadagdagan pa ng mga taba-taba ng mga iba-ibang
Oo.
meat.
Tapos
ganun,
ayaw pa
parang
nilang tapon yung oil pagkatapos ng
Oo.
gamit. Kasi nangihinayang. But actually, oils usually, maximum na yung twice mo gagamitin, but better
At saka
once
lalo
lang.
na ngayon, may bagong yun, mga palm oil na hindi
Oo,
talaga
maraming
healthy.
oils that aren't good
diba?
for high heat, for
Kung-
frying. Oo.
Kung sa puso ang pag-uusapan, puso at blood vessels.
Oo, that's the same
The circulatory
Circulatory.
that
system.
system.
Hindi lang natin pwede tingnan yung sa puso lang.
Oo.
Kasi kapag naramdaman mo yung problema ng puso mo,
Mm.
the physical issues, then it means sometimes the problem is in circulating nutrients,
Mm-mm.
oxygen,
Yeah.
and
And removing also
removing of the weight.
the waste.
Kaya nga may
And sometimes people think only of the heart. Hindi nila iniisip yung blood vessel. Lahat ng parte ng katawan natin may blood vessel.
Oo.
So if the doctor tells you, oh, may bara ka dito sa puso, it's not just actually in the puso.
Mm-mm.
Could be anywhere along all those blood vessels,
Mm-mm.
including your brain, na meron
kung
bara.
nangyayari na may bara-bara, it means maraming
Pwede ka
lugar
ma-
may mga
Oo.
ganun.
Pwede ka ma-stroke.
Actually, one of the highest yata sa Philippines, ang killer ay cardiovascular,
Yeah.
hindi ba?
I think
Diseases.
it's not number one
Oo.
of the non-communicable.
Oo. Kaya actually talagang ito ay napaka importante at relevant. Maraming tayong mga kamag-anak,
Mm-mm.
balitaan na lang natin.
They
Is-
drop,
Oo.
Yeah,
heart stop, they drop dead.
You know, sometimes if you suddenly, if you actually have a heart issue or you don't know it or what, and your legs become swollen,
Oo.
this can be a sign of your circulation being very poor. Your heart can be at very great risk.
Manas.
Oo.
Yan, oo.
So, don't take those things lightly. Magpa-check naman kayo sa doktor.
Oo.
Tsaka pag binigyan kayo ng sinasabing maintenance, hindi yan tinitake pag masakit na yung puso. Maintenance means talagang kailan regular yan.
Okay, maging sarili niyong doktor.
Oo.
Ganito yung pakiramdam ko.
Makinig tayo kay Doc, yung
Minsan
makinig na
kasi,
doktor.
minsan di ba, okay naman yung pakiramdam ko na nga yan. Di ba, may marami tayo, wag na ako maggamot.
Oo.
Oo, ay sabi nung
O,
iba,
mas lalo ganito yan.
yung gamot mo?
Ay,
Ano,
naku, hindi
nangihi-
pwede yan.
Kaya may ganito yan.
Ano ba sinabi ni doktor mo? Sige, ako na rin.
Kung,
Hindi
Oo.
kung, kung
hindi
ayaw niyo
pwede.
maggamot,
Oo.
kung ayaw niyo maggamot, meron katumbas sa lifestyle.
Okay.
Kasi kaya tayo binibigyan ng gamot. Dahil hindi natin ginagawa yung tama.
Oo, kasi yung iba, pag binigyan ng gamot, o sige, okay na, may
Kakain na
gamot
ako ng
naman ako.
maraming
I'll
taba.
eat
May gamot
anything.
naman ako
Oo.
eh. Oo, di ba? May ganon.
May ganun. May ganun talaga.
Dadaanin.
Rest, no, rest is very important kasi pag nakahiga yung katawan natin, yung puso hindi hirap na magpadala ng blood everywhere.
Nakahiga.
Yeah. Kaya nga ang swimming is very good for those with heart issues.
Oo.
Kasi kung nakatayo ka yung exercise mo, minsan the blood doesn't circulate anymore up to the head.
Oo.
Puro pababa, nahihirapan umakyat. So if your exercise is swimming, nakaganyan,
Oo.
then it's easier.
Oo.
No?
Isa pang importanteng pwede niyo
Pero
gawin.
hindi-
Kunyari nag-exercise.
Oo.
Dapat exercise aerobic mas lalo.
Oo.
Ina-exercise yung heart rate mo.
Oo.
Tapos nagpo-flow yung,
Mm-mm.
nag-work yung circulatory system nyo.
Yes.
Tumataas yung volume ng air.
Mm-mm.
Inhalation nyo. So this, kumbaga you're bringing nutrients,
Mm-mm.
and yet at
To
the
the
same time,
cells.
to the cells,
Mm-mm.
and you're making the different organs stronger because it's getting its nourishment like oxygen and nutrients efficiently.
Mm-mm.
Now, and it has to be done. No excuse. Everybody's talking about this now. Wala nang,
But please don't jump into exercise kung hindi kayo nag-exercise. Kailangan yan gradual.
Gradual.
Kailangan meron din minsan, pa-check up muna kayo.
kung meron
So
kayo
you know what kind
nararamdaman
of
o kaya,
exercise you can do.
kaya masyadong mabigat yung timbang nyo.
Huwag nung biglain sarili niyo.
Okay, dapat yan. Kung ano yung tagal na panahon na hindi kayo nag-exercise, you work on a gradual, kumbaga, build up of your resistance and strengthen your organs.
Baka biglang matepok ka lalo.
Oo.
Diba?
Lalo hindi kayo sanay. Now, isa pa,
Kailangan lifestyle change eh. no?
isa pa, huminga. Tama. Bakit? Pag huminga kayo, ito yung baga ninyo. Dito yung puso ninyo. Magpe-press.
Parang namamassage si heart.
Mm-mm.
Oy,
The heart and lungs work together.
may massage pala ang heart.
Oo.
Sa
Yes.
breathing lang.
Exactly. You
Tamang
have to do it
pag-inom.
right.
Mm.
Nakikita niyo, nakakakalma pa sa inyo. Kaya sa ating mga kaibigan, tapos na naman yung ating
Oras.
oras. Marami sana pa tayong pag-uusapan. Siguro ituloy natin yung tungkol sa puso sa next.
Remember, ang February Heart Month, so take care of your hearts.
Heavy check.
Oo.
Oo.
You have to check. You have to
Lalo na
know
kung may
what's...
nararamdaman na kayong mga simptoma na
Para kayo kung
Kahit wala pa kayong naramdaman, if you are at a certain age, it's time to get this all checked. Kung never pa kayo
Okay.
nagpunta.
Marami ng kumbaga na ways of checking whether you have a healthy heart or not. So let's not just
Kung kapos kayo
set
sa
it
HR,
aside
that
and,
will
next
not
time ko
seem
na
to
gagawin.
check na kayo.
Okay, magandang weekend sa inyong lahat ulit.
Okay.
Mag-ingat kayo.
Know your
Yan.
hearts. Okay.
Thank you.
Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan, go Palakas!